Hi guys, it's Millen here from Dota2Pro.com. This is my first video guide. What I'm going to do is try and present some sort of tips and tricks that you may or may not know from Dota 2. I hope you guys enjoy. So my first tip that I'm going to give you is to do with queuing. Queuing is, just like the name says, queuing up abilities so that they run flawlessly one after the other. So as I'm demonstrating here, using tangos, if you were to click a tango onto the tree, then shift click, which is the default key, to move straight afterwards, you're going to move as efficiently as possible after eating that tree. It's going to make sure you don't accidentally, click to the side and stop yourself eating the tree, anything like that. As I demonstrate here with the TP scroll as well, it's if you're going to shift click after your TP, it's going to make sure that you don't accidentally click to the side, you don't cancel your TP, and you're moving as soon as physically possible within the game. You can do the same here with picking up runes, with using channeling abilities, but the way this really comes to shine here, as I demonstrate with Sand King, is using it to queue up to blink after channeling your ultimate. So the way you want to do this is, you want to start channeling your ultimate, and then you want to hold down shift, press whatever key it is you have your blink dagger bound to, and then left click to where you want to blink to once you've channeled your ultimate. What that's going to do is, as soon as you have finished channeling your ultimate, you're going to blink immediately. You're not going to miss one tick of your ultimate's damage whatsoever. Okay, so Dota has this day and night cycle. Now, as well as having some effect on heroes such as Night Stalker, this has a massive effect on your vision range. So, as you can see I'm demonstrating here, the vision range when it's daytime, as shown by the clock at the top of the screen, is massive compared to that at night time. So you see here, when you're up on this ramp, you can actually see towards the rune. You just simply can't do that when it's night time. Again here, other little spots that when it's daytime you can see to the rune spot, but at night time you just have such limited vision that you can't see it at all. Now, the way that you need to try and utilize this is just to be completely aware that when it's daytime, you're a lot safer. You can probably go for things like the runes safely if there's people missing, because you've got more vision, you've got more time to react. Well, as when it's night time, you can get snuck up on by someone a lot easier. In this example of showing the one-on-one mid, when it's night time, just your vision, even just to your sides, is so limited that people can get a lot closer to you before you notice. And even here you can't see at the ramp to the other person on the other side of mid, whereas you can when it was a daylight. Okay, my tip number 3 is double clicking items. There's only a few items that this is entirely relevant on, but what it does is it makes you move towards base, basically. So instead of just clicking the item once and then clicking where you want to go, if you quickly double tap things like a blink dagger or a TP scroll, then what that's going to do is instantly send you back towards base. So if you're getting ganked, you're in a problem, you need to quickly react. Instead of having to take that time to click your TP scroll, select what tower to go to, making sure you're clicking the right one on the minimap, just double clicking it very quickly, it's going to instantly send you back to base. Okay, my tip number 4 is bottle ferrying. Now, this is in regards to, usually you don't use this if you're mid, when you have a bottle, but you can use it on other side lanes. Basically, you'll need a flying courier, but you can send the courier to yourself, put your bottle on the courier. When the courier gets back to base, it will refill the bottle, and you can send that back to yourself with a full bottle. Now, the reason that this is important is if you're mid, you've got your bottle, but you're having problems controlling the runes for whatever reason. Maybe you've not got wards, maybe the other team is defending the runes, maybe you'll get someone with a blink mid. For whatever reason, if you're unable to get those runes, this being able to bottle ferry is going to help you stay in the game a lot better than if you're just not getting those runes at all. Right, my tip number 5 is just a couple useful ward spots. Hopefully you guys know that warding the runes is extremely important, especially for the mid person to be able to get those runes. Now, a couple of these wall spots I'm just showing you right here, they're not right next to the rune like you'd expect, but they would give you, in some cases, even better vision than the other ones would give you, especially this one over here on the right hand side of the Radiant Jungle. It's going to give you great vision for around those trees for protecting your bottom lane. Okay, my tip number 6 is to do with items and channeling abilities. Now there's a couple abilities in the game, such as Sand King's ultimate, Witch Doctor's ultimate, a couple of others, where when channeling you're able to actually activate items. So for example, as you see here in the video, Sand King is actually able to activate, while he's channeling without interrupting it, that Lothar's Edge, which is going to make him invis. It's quite useful for using a BKB. You know, if you were to blink in, say for instance with Shadow Fiend or Enigma, and start channeling their ultimates, you can actually BKB mid through. You don't always have to BKB before you jump in. Okay, my tip number 7 is creep stacking. Again, this is something that isn't in League of Legends but is in Hon and Dota. What you want to do is, if you go and pull the creeps, make them come to you, generally you want to do it around the 53-second mark, just before the next minute. You pull them out the creep camp and that creep camp is empty, it's going to spawn another set of creeps. And you can keep doing this, so you have lots and lots of creeps in one camp. In Hon it's limited to 3, but in this there's actually no limit whatsoever the amount you can do. The reason this is great is if you're playing a support hero, you can do this for your carry, so that then when they come over to farm it, you know, they're going to get masses of gold and masses of experience, and it's really going to boost their gold per minute. For heroes that can dominate creeps, you can use that creep to stack camps. The thing I demonstrate here is Helm of the Dominator, which you can buy as an item, can also dominate a creep. So what you want to do is you dominate the creep and send it over to buy the Ancients, and just like normal, use that creep to pull every 53 on the 53-second mark, and you know, you can be farming a side lane just while doing this and go over there, and then you've got, you know, a triple, quadruple stack in the Ancients. This is going to massively increase your farm. Okay, the next tip is side pulling. Very relevant again to my last tip, except this time what you're doing is you're pulling the creeps near to the lane. This is how you do it on the bottom lane. What you want to do is hit the creeps on either 15 seconds or 45 seconds and run out to the side lane. You're going to pull your creeps in and they're going to battle. So you know, you're not losing any HP, but you're getting free XP from the jungle creeps. You know, if you're last hitting, then you're getting free gold as well. It's going to help to control your bottom lane because it's going to keep it nearer to your tower. So, and the creeps that actually die in the jungle, your ally creeps, that's going to deny the enemy team of experience completely. So this is an extremely important thing to learn to do. It really helps out. What I demonstrate here as well is you can actually stack the creep camp before you go and pull it. The reason being why you would bother to do this is if it's just one stack, generally that your ally normal creeps would kill that one stack, so you're still going to give them some experience. But if it's double stacked, those double stacked jungle creeps will actually kill the entirety of your wave, so you're going to deny the enemy team a lot more experience. Alright, so this is another type of side pull. Basically, the time you may want to use this one is if they've the enemy's blocked the other creep camp, so you can't do that side pull. You can actually still make use of this one on the top lane. You want to go to attack those creeps at the 20-21 second mark, bring them up to the side here, and you can bring those creeps down. It's just another way to control your lane, another way to deny the enemy XP, and it's a way that you can keep on doing it even if they try and block you. Equally on this top lane, the Radiant team can actually do this pull as well. So you want to again do this sort of 19-second mark. You want to eat that tree either with a tango or with a hatchet, quelling blade, sorry. and yeah, you can pull those creeps in, and if your lane's pushed, it's going to help even things out. It's rare that you'll do this, but it's just good to know that you can, just in case. Okay, my tip number 9 is creep blocking. Directly relevant really to the side pulling that I just talked about. Basically, if you put a ward into those creep camps, that's going to block those creeps from spawning. So if your enemy is using that side pull a lot, they're controlling the lane against you, you can put a ward down into that camp just to stop them doing that at all. The other reason you may possibly do this is if the enemy has a jungler. If you were to block 1 or 2 of their camps, that's going to severely hinder the enemy's jungling ability. Tip number 10 is counter warding. Now again, unlike League of Legends, counter wards or sentries in Dota have a very small AoE. So you can't just treat a sentry ward, a D ward, as a normal ward that reveals others. It doesn't work like that. You actually need vision as well as putting that sentry ward down. So the 2 ways that I show you that you can do this is first put down your sentry ward, as well as putting down a normal ops ward. And the other way you can do this, as I show, is with a flying courier to give you vision up the hill. Alright, so tip number 12 is disjointing. Now, disjointing is basically the dodging of projectile, usually stuns, while they're mid-air. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. I demonstrate them here. Puck, for instance, his E spell causes him to phase shift out so he can't be hit, so he can dodge things mid-air using that. You can use Manta style to dodge them, you can use Blink, and also, as I demonstrate here, there's a couple of things like his Q and Force Staff that oddly enough won't disjoint, but do actually make the projectile following him around the corner. Alright, my final clip is actually one of, in my eyes, the more important ones. Power treads are a type of boots that you get on a lot of heroes really. What makes them so unique is the ability to swap them between giving you extra strength, agility or intelligence. Now you need to understand the way stats work to understand what you can do here. If you were to have those boots set to strength, no matter what hero you are, you're going to have more HP. If you set them to intelligence, no matter what hero you are, you're going to have more mana. And also, depending on what your main stat is, those boots are going to give you damage. So if you're a strength hero, you have them set to strength, they're going to give you extra damage as well. There's other stats they'll give you, but I'll leave it at that for now. Now basically, the way that you can be really clever with these, use these to their full potential, is that if you have a regen item, you know, if you have a healing salve, if you have a tango, if you have a bottle, anything like that, if you put your boots onto agility before you use it, you're going to make your HP and your mana pool as small as possible. So you then use that regen, and then you swap back to putting them on strength or putting them on intelligence. You're actually going to have more HP or more mana than you would have done if you'd left your boots onto the strength stat. Again, other ways that people use these extremely effectively, if you're in a clutch situation, you know you are down on mana, you really need that little bit more mana just to TP away. Swapping your boots to intelligence, it's not only going to give you more regen, it's going to give you more base mana, and that could be the difference between you surviving or not. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought. Like I said, this is my very first one of these videos, so I appreciate I have a bad microphone for one thing, as I've been told. I also appreciate that my abilities with video editing are not too great, let's say. But yeah, let me know what you think. Give suggestions on what you'd like to see, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, and as always, keep checking back to Dota2Pro.com.